studied. First, which object created? Which one is created? Object creation order by web container. This all you studied, no? Solid context. Next, user defined solid. Next, solid config. Next, solid request and solid response. Okay. Now, solid context, user defined solid, solid config, solid request and solid response. Now, when this solid context is created by a web container, when this solid context is created by web container, whenever already notes I given, it's over. Whenever web application is deployed, solid context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Okay. Once if the application is deployed, then solid context is created. What is the purpose of context you studied? To retrieve context parameters. Okay. So the object creation order by web container, it is completed. The object creation order by web container already completed. So solid context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Okay. What is the use of context is to retrieve context parameters. Context parameters are common to all solids or specific to solid? Common to all solids in a web application. Okay. When user defined solid object is created, whenever first request comes to a solid, whenever first request comes, okay, this user defined solid object, what purpose? What is it? Life cycle methods. Init, service, destroy, called with this one only. Okay. After that, solid config. When solid config created, whenever init method is called, whenever init method is called, okay, init method when it is called, whenever first request comes to a solid. Okay. Solid request and solid response when it is created, when it is created, every request created. Okay. Now you studied these all usage, you studied. With this context parameters we can retrieve. With this user defined solid object, lifecycle methods are called. With this solid config, initialization parameters. With this solid request parameters. With solid response, sending response. For you are creating streams, get writer method, get output stream methods you are calling. Okay. These all usages you studied. It's over. Okay. So once again, I'll ask question, give me answer. Once again, I'll ask questions, give me answer. When solid context is created, whenever web application is deployed on server, whenever web application is deployed on server, what is the use of solid context? To retrieve context parameters. Context parameters are common to all solids or specific to solid? Common to all solids, right? User defined solid, when it is created, user defined solid object when it is created, whenever first request comes to a solid. Whenever first request comes, what is the use of user defined solid object? To call life cycle methods. How many life cycle methods are there? What are those? For calling those three methods, this is required. When solid config is created, whenever init method is called, when init method is called, first request comes to a solid. What is the use of solid config? to retrieve initialization parameters. Initialization parameters are specific to solid or common to all solids? Specific to solid. Okay. When solid request and solid response pair created, every request created, every request it is created. Okay. What is the use of solid request? To retrieve request parameters from HTML page. You have seen. What is the use of solid response? To send response. We created streams. Print writer, solid output stream. With this only we created no? Get writer, get output stream methods we called. So all interfaces we used. Okay. Now next concept, solid forwarding. Next concept, solid forwarding. Okay. Now done. Solid forwarding. Next concept, solid forwarding. Now done. Forwarding requests and response of one solid into another solid. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. See, name is solid forwarding, but solid is not forwarded. Only request and response forwarded. But concept name is solid forwarding. Okay. Concept name is solid forwarding. But what is forwarded? Request and response. Request and response of one solid forwarded to another solid. That is solid forwarding. Okay. Concept name is solid forwarding. But solid is not forwarded. Only request and response is forwarded. Okay. Now, what is the use of this one? I'll explain. First, see the diagram. Suppose it is client, it is solid server. Here first solid, it is second solid, it is third solid. Okay. See, first solid, it is first solid, it is second solid, it is third solid. Like this we have. See, suppose it is first solid, it is second solid, it is third solid, it is server, web server, it is web client, browser, web client. From web client, in a browser window, I'll type my request. What I'll do is http://2 localhost 8082/ suppose war file name forward, URL pattern first. Suppose like this I'll write. Okay. Forward is a war file name. First is a URL pattern. Then what will happen? My request passed from browser to this servlet. This request is called HTTP request. Okay, HTTP request. Here already some code is there. Here already some code is there. That code executed. After executing code, last statement, forward code is there. Forward. Last statement, forward code is there. Okay. Then my request, first servlet request and response forwarded to second servlet. Second servlet code here. After second servlet code also, last one, again forward code is there. Here third servlet code is there. Okay. Now you observe 3 servlets I placed in server. First servlet, last statement, forwarding request and response to second servlet. Second servlet, last statement, forwarding request and response to third servlet. Like that code is there. Now, if I send request to first servlet, what will happen is first servlet code executed. After executing, this servlet request and response forwarded to second servlet. Second servlet code executed. Again, this servlet request and response forwarded to third servlet. This servlet code executed. From this, response comes to a browser. This is called HTTP response. HTTP response. Now, I'll ask some questions, give me answer. From my browser, I'm sending request to which servlet? First servlet. Output coming from which servlet? Which servlet? Third servlet. So total how many servlets executed? 3 servlets executed. But I send request to first servlet. Server is executed 3 servlets. 3 servlets after executing, result comes to browser from third servlet. But how many servlets executed? Browser doesn't know. What browser knows is I send request to first servlet. Then what browser will understand what browser will understand is from first servlet only response came, it will understand. It doesn't know because browser is sending request to which servlet? First servlet. Output comes, that output from first servlet only it will understand. It doesn't know. But actually how many servlets executed backside? 3 servlets. That is server side. Now when we have to use this one is, instead of writing complete code in a one servlet, if the task is very big, then we have to use this situation. Suppose example, core Java programs. Are you writing total code in a main method? No. You are writing so many methods, so many classes. From main method to other method, other method to other method, other method to other method, even creating object of other class also. Like that you written, no? So instead of writing complete code in the main method, your task you are dividing into number of methods. Instead of writing total code in a one class, your task is you are dividing into number of classes. In this situation in servlets, instead of writing code in a one servlet, you can write in many servlets. The task, if it is very big, the task code you can write in 3 servlets also, 5 servlets also, 10 servlets also. The task is very big. In that situation, you can divide your task into number of servlets. Okay. Here you can write some code. You can forward to second servlet. Second servlet will finish. Again, it will forward to third. At last output comes. To finish the task, total 3 servlets executed. To finish the task. See, for example, I'll give one task to you. What you will do is, you will forward to one more person. That other person will forward to other person. At last will bring. What I'll understand, you completed, I'll understand. But that is done by many people. Like that. Okay. Here, what browser will understand? This output from first servlet only it will understand. It doesn't know. Just output comes. Browser sending request to first servlet. output coming. What it will understand? First solid only completed, it will understand. Okay, I'll give one task to you. You will give to other person to other person. At last, you'll bring what I'll understand. You completed, I'll understand. But that is done by many people like that. Okay, if the task is very big, in that situation, you have to write. Suppose 5 lines code is there. 2 lines here, 2 lines here, 1 line. You should not write. That memory wasted. Okay, if the task is very big, you can divide. But 5 lines, 10 lines code purpose, you should not use this concept. So in real time, if the task is very big, in that situation you have to use. Otherwise, task to task relation is not there. In that situation, one task here, one task here. In that situation also you can use. Okay, write this one. Solid forwarding. Write this diagram. Online students, write it your doubt in notebook. End of the session, you can ask. If I click chat box, that will be vanished. Whatever I given drawing, no, that will be vanished. If I click on chat box. End of the session, every day time I'm giving time, no, at the time you can ask. Is it over? First solid, second solid, third solid. So client is sending request to first solid. This code executed. It will forward to second solid. This code executed. It will forward to third solid. This code executed. It will come back. Response comes from third solid. So for getting output, 3 solids executed. That is, in this server knows, browser doesn't know. Suppose you will send the request to Gmail to get mailbox. How many solids executed? Do you know? That is server knows, server side programmer knows. Okay, browser doesn't know because browser involvement is not there. Everything's done by server here. Is it over? See, if I click chat box, that will be vanished. Okay, your doubts end of the session. If any voice problem is there, screen problem is there, you can use chat box. Now, so this is forwarding concept. Write it. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. So module wise you can divide. That is called modularity. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. These forwarding nodes, remaining nodes after completion of program I'll give. Okay, and including also same concept. That is, this is at a time I'll teach in a one program only. Next, solid including. Including request and response of one solid to another solid into another solid. Forwarding request and response of one solid into another solid, you have seen. For including request and response of one solid into another solid is called as solid including. Suppose web client, it is web server. Suppose it is first solid, it is second solid, now suppose in a like this 100 solids are there. Suppose at top left corner company logo required. Suppose company logo. Now the website having 100 pages. Suppose website having 100 pages. In every page, top left corner logo required. What you can do is separate logo solid. You can write logo solid. Logo solid. You can write. It is some logo, company logo. This logo solid you can include here, top left corner. This logo solid you can include in this page also. That is including. See, include. Here also include. Bottom center address required, company address. So instead of writing again and again, address solid you can write. Address solid. This address you can include bottom center in every page. So this is you can include here. This is you can include here. Okay. Then other code you can write here in between. Suppose Now you observe, it is browser. From browser window, if I send request to first solid, how many programs executed? How many programs executed? 3 solids executed. Again, if I send request to second solid, again 3 solids executed. Okay. I am sending request to first solid. First solid, logo solid included here. This is executed. Address solid included. This complete output comes. If I send request to second solid, again logo included. This code executed. This address also included. So three programs executed. What is the benefit with this one? Give me answer. What is the benefit with this one? What is the benefit? Give me answer. You can give answer. It is possible. Give me answer. Code. I didn't understand. Okay, less code, more effective. What is it? I'm not getting. This code, the reusable, no? This address, suppose website having 100 pages. Website having 100 pages. In 100 pages, you are not writing. One solid only you are writing. You are including 100 times. The code reusable. And also, what is one more benefit is, suppose company address changed. Then how many solids you have to modify? One. If it is this concept is not there, 100. Company address is changed. In 100 places you have to change. But now only one solid you have to change. Okay, like that. Write it. Solid including this is. Over. So solid including means request and response only included. Solid is not included. Forwarding also request and response only forwarded. Solid is not forwarded. But concept name is solid forwarding, but request and response forwarded. Concept name is solid including, so request and response only included. Is it over? Here company logo insert included, address included. Okay. Now next note on the main advantage of solid including is reusability. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. But how to forward, how to include, we'll see now. Java P, Jakarta. I've written this one. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. Remaining points after program I'll give. Here two methods are there. Note down. Forwarding, including. Init methods have to explain. Okay. Forward, include. So just package names are removed. Yeah, I'll explain about init methods. Forward, include. So after this program I'll explain two init methods. What's the difference? It is the most important interview question only. See, forward method, include method. See method name forward for forwarding. What is forwarded? See solid request, solid response. Include. What is included? Solid request, solid response. Now we should request dispatcher reference required. Request dispatcher reference we required. There are many ways to get the request dispatcher. After getting, you have to call forward. After that, include. Okay. How to get request dispatcher? I'll show you. Now, forward. If you want to forward, forward method required. If you want to include, include method required. But these two methods, if you want to call, request dispatcher required first. There are many ways to get the request dispatcher. I'll show you. Say Java P Java dot Jakarta dot solid request. In the solid request method is there. See get request dispatcher. We'll get a request dispatcher. Here one method is there, and also solid context. In context also method is there. See get requested is not this one. See here get requested dispatcher. Requested dispatcher. Here also we have. So many places this method is there. Config. In config not there. Two ways. Okay. See. Note on. There are two ways. There are two ways to get the requested dispatcher. First one, by calling get requested dispatcher method of solid context. Further listeners, one more also is there. By calling get requested dispatcher method of solid request. There are two ways to get the requested dispatcher. First one by calling get requested dispatcher method of solid context. Second one by calling get requested as a method of solid request. So if you call this method in this interface, you'll get a request dispatcher. Even if you call this method in this request interface, it context your request. Then also you'll get it. After getting forward, include you can write. Now what I'll do is in previous program only, I'll add forward concept, include concept. Is it over? You have seen login.html. You have seen login.html program, previous program. Here login form. In this login form, username, password. Okay, just UN I'll write, P word I'll write, submit. Okay, let us see how seen. When you click on submit button, login solid executed. Okay, this is your seen. We received username, we received password. We received username, we received password. These two we are checking in database. In a database, we are checking. This is, we'll check in a database. Here, if exists, what we written? Welcome. Else, here welcome message we written previously, but now I'll forward to welcome solid, separate solid. Welcome solid. I'll write welcome solid.java. Here I'll display welcome message. Welcome username. Welcome username I'll display. So here I'm writing forward. So if you given username password exists, here only welcome I written previous program. Now I'll forward to welcome solid. Here welcome username I'll write. Else what we written? Invalid username or password. Invalid username or password. Like this we written. But now what I'll do? Invalid username password in red color letters. Again this HTML I'll include here. HTML also you can include. So in this program only forward include both I'll show you. Okay. If given username password exists in a database, forward to welcome solid. Does not exist, invalid username password, again login.html should come. Okay. So in real time, if given username password does not exist, red color letters comes, again same page appears, no? Like that. Write this one. So same program, I'll add two more concepts, forwarding including. So login solid to welcome solid forwarding. Login.html including in login solid. That means one program we have to modify, one program newly we have to write. Okay. This is new program. This is we have to modify. Is it over? See. Not over. Is it over? See. That program only I'll modify. Login solid.java we have to modify. Welcome solid, new program we have to write. It is taking time. Control Shift W. All windows are closed. Okay. I given notes already. Now login to. In login to src main web app. Here Java login to login solid. This is we have to modify. Okay. Here where we have to modify here if condition. Here from here we have to forward. From here you have to forward. Now I'll remove this line. Here request dispatcher. Some RD equal to. Here already we have request. With this request we can get the request dispatcher. No? Request dot get request dispatcher. Just now I given. Here we have to pass URL pattern of solid. Here I want to forward to welcome solid. So URL pattern welcome. See request dispatcher RD equal to request dot get request dispatcher welcome. So it is a URL pattern of welcome solid. To this solid I want to forward RD dot forward request response included. That's it. It is forwarding. Now what will happen? If the condition is true, control password to welcome solid. Control password to welcome solid. This is invalid username password. After this, including also request dispatcher rd equal to request dot get request dispatcher. Here what we have to include? HTML login dot HTML login dot HTML rd dot include over included. Here now this HTML code is not required, we can remove. This HTML code starting not required, we can remove. That's it. Okay, invalid username, invalid password, as well as this one. Okay, now if you want to display this is red color letters, first this HTML page which color? Okay, colors leave it. Now concept is clear. No, now invalid username password displayed. After that, login.html program included. It's over. Now next, welcome solid we have to write. Right click, new solid. Here login to welcome solid. Here I didn't explain HTTP solid till, that is next topic only you'll learn. Just tomorrow you'll learn HTTP solid also. Generic solid. Next, it is welcome, because just now I written already in the welcome I written. Okay, next, now we don't require other methods, only service. Here just only printing welcome message, receiving request parameter, username, like request dot you studied which method? Get parameter. Parameter name is uname. It's enough. Print writer, response dot get writer, pw dot println, welcome. After that, yes, username printed. Okay, after this, if you want to add HTML, you can add HTML body, bg color, level 1 heading, pw dot println, level 1 close, body close, HTML close. See, only two lines new, remaining all nothing. You studied already. Control Shift O, print writer imported. Over. Now see, right click, run as, run on server, save, save, select the server. Next, finish. Here, first homepage.html I will type. Homepage.html. Already registered, so login. Username AAA, password AAA. If I click on submit button, how many solids executed? If I click on submit button, how many solids executed? How many? 2 solids. What are those? Login solid, welcome solid. Output comes from which solid? Output comes from which solid? Welcome solid. Welcome solid. In address bar, which solid URL pattern appears? Which solid? Login solid. According to that diagram, first solid, second solid, third solid. Output comes from third solid, but address bar first only will be there, like that. See, welcome triple A. So welcome triple A. But this output from which solid? This output from which solid? Welcome solid. But in address bar, which solid URL pattern is there? Login, because browser doesn't know. Browser send login solid, but that is internally forwarded to welcome solid. With that, we got output. Now, given password does not exist, then invalid username password, again HTML page included. Now, if you enter wrong username, wrong password, again and again, page will be here only. See, existed username, triple A, then welcome. So the page will rotate there only. In real time also like that only, no? Invalid username, password, red color comes. Remaining page as it is will be there. That type. This is forwarding including concept. Here HTML code reusable. 2 times we are using. 1 time written, 2 times using. Reusable. It is modularity. Welcome solid separate, login solid code separate. Checking in database separate, printing welcome separate. Divided into module. Now, this program, login solid program, only if else part I changed. So service method code, write it enough. Only service method, you can write enough. 1 minute, I'll remove remaining part. So write login solid.java. Login solid.java. Remaining code same, I didn't change. Yeah, I'll explain again. Write this program. Only service method code, write it enough. No need to write complete program. About forwarding, about including notes is there. I'll give. What's the difference when we have to use, where we have to use everything? I'll explain. The first program I given. Is it over? Here, if the given username password exists, assume if the given username password exists, here what it returns? True. Then forwarded to welcome solid. Forwarded to welcome solid. Else, invalid username password displayed as well as login.html displayed. So here only these two lines, here two lines only new concept. The remaining you studied. Okay. Here, if the condition returns true, then it will enter. Here /welcome. This is welcome solid URL pattern. So it is forwarded to welcome solid. So request dispatcher RD equal to request dot get request because for forwarding request dispatcher reference required. So RD. This is retrieved. To which solid? Welcome solid. To welcome solid it is forwarded. Here login.html included. Login.html included. Okay. This is including. Here forwarding, here including. You observe once again that they'll execute. Here login to, right click, run as, run on server. Finish. Here homepage.html. Login. Already existed username if you type. Suppose AAA already exists. AAA. If I click on submit button, first which solid executed? Login solid. What it will do? It will forward the request and response of login solid to welcome solid. From welcome solid output comes. So this is the output from welcome solid. But in address bar, login solid URL pattern. But output from welcome solid. Okay. Back. Here back. Here password is wrong. If I click on submit button, again login solid executed. That is HTML page includes. Previously, yesterday program only invalid username password displayed. But now login.html code included. That is the concept. Clear? But forwarding, including, so many points are there, so many concepts. When we have to use, whether it is possible between two different servers or not, and if it is possible between two different web applications or not, these all so many concepts are there. Those all I'll explain tomorrow class. Tomorrow we'll see continuation. Welcome solid code is nothing. That already you have seen. Retrieving username, printing. That's it. We'll see continuation tomorrow. Online students, wait 2 minutes. I'll clarify your doubts.